Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. So I'm going to talk to you about the Antilia story. The Antilia story which has been spoken about. Antilia is Mr. Mukesh Ambani's residence in Bombay, which is in Altamont Road in Mumbai. And Antilia is supposed to be one of the world's most expensive residences. Okay. Now, there was a bomb threat in Antilia on the 25th of February 2021, this year. Now, the story as it's unfolding, it's not yet unfolded. We don't know the result of the story. We don't know the climax of the story. But as it's unfolding, it is possibly a story of which has series of coincidences or a very, very, very intense conspiracy. One of the two. Now, I know you must have heard this story, but today I'm going to add a few more elements to this story. Let's get right into the show. So, on the 25th of February, 2 weeks back, the security guards of Antilia, Mr. Mukesh Ambani's residence, found a Scorpio parked on the road near the house. And when they inspected the Scorpio, they found 20 gelatin sticks inside the Scorpio with a letter. Now, mind you, gelatin sticks are explosive, used for bombs. Gelatin sticks do not explode, but they are used for bombs. So 20 gelatin sticks were kept with a letter saying that, listen, this is just a trailer. We will blast the place. And this letter was written by this unit called Jaish-ul-Hind. So whatever this unit is, some terrorist unit. Obviously, the entire nation got alarmed. State got alarmed. City got alarmed. And the police started the investigation. Now, the first thing, as they always do, police tried to trace the car, the Scorpio, the vehicle which was kept there, and the number. The number plate was fake number plate, the engine number was scratched out, so on and so forth. Finally, the police managed to track the owner of the car, of the Scorpio. No, the owner was not Hiren Mansukh. The owner of the Scorpio was a gentleman called Dr. Sam Newton. A person called Dr. Sam Newton. This Sam Newton, Dr. Sam Newton, was staying in Thane in a place called Ambedkar Road, which is near Nopada. So the police tracked it to him. And how they tracked it also, I'll tell you as the story goes. So they went to Sam Newton, and Sam Newton said that, Baba, listen, you know why? Yeah, the vehicle is mine. I bought this vehicle on the 7th of April 2007. It is registered in RTO, Thane RTO, on the 7th of April 2007, but the vehicle is not with me. The vehicle is not with me since 6th April 2018. Why is the vehicle not with me? The vehicle is not with me is because I wanted to do up the vehicle. I went to this person called Hiren Mansukh. Hiren Mansukh, who had this shop which had, which was into car decor. I went to this gentleman's shop. I did up my car, but then I had no money to pay. I had to pay some 2.6 odd lakhs to Mr. Mansukh. I couldn't pay the money. My checks bounced. Mansukh took me to Nopada police station. Nopada again comes in Thane. Thane is the place where both Mansukh and Dr. Sam Newton stays. And incidentally, I was born and brought up in Thane, so I know the place very well. So he says, so I was taken to Nopada police station, and what I did is I said, listen, I will give you the money. And till such time that I don't give you the money, here are the keys to my vehicle. You take the vehicle. The day I give you your money, you give me back my vehicle. So this was in 2018, April 6th. Sam Newton never was able to give Mansukh Hiran his money. So this was the story. So now the Scorpio went from Dr. Sam Newton to Mansukh Hiran. Now the story starts. Mansukh Hiran incidentally had a friend called Sachin Waze. Sachin Waze was a police officer. He was a assistant police officer, API, assistant police officer, assistant police inspector with Mumbai police working for crime branch. Now, we will talk about Sachin Waze a little later. Let me complete Mansukh Hiran's story. So, in November 2020, Mansukh Hiran gave this car to this API, to this police inspector, and said that you drive the car, or possibly he took the car from him for his personal use. This was in November 2020. The police officer's name was Sachin Waze. Now, mind you, this was the Scorpio. The Scorpio we are talking about is the same Scorpio that was found in Antilia with the gelatin sticks. Okay. Now, the car went to this inspector. Now, on February 5th, 2021, that is from November 2020 to February 5th, 2021, the car was with this Inspector Waze. On February 5th, 2021, according to Mansukh Hiran's wife, the car came back to Mansukh Hiran, which means this inspector must have given the car back to Mansukh Hiran. Okay. Now, Mansukh Hiran was in possession of this vehicle. On 17th of February, Mansukh Hiran sat in this car and he was going towards Crawford Market. Crawford Market, mind you, is where the police headquarters is. Crawford Market is where there's a huge market for vegetables and all of that. It's in Bombay Weety, near Bombay Weety station. So he went to Crawford Market. But this was an old car, I presume. So he says, according to him, because it's an old car, it broke down in a place called Vikhroli. So he had to park the car in Vikhroli in the Eastern Express Highway. Eastern Express Highway is where is the road that you take from Thane to Weety. So he had to park the car in Vikhroli in Eastern Express Highway, and he took an Ola cab from there and went to Crawford Market. He finished his work, met a friend, and after all that, they said, "ठीक है यार, car रहने दे उधर, अभी where will I go back?" So he took a train directly back to Thane. This was the story he gave. This was on 17th of February. 18th of February, Mr. Mansukh Hiran went back to Vikhroli to figure where the car is. Now, when he went back to Vikhroli, he found that the car was missing. Somebody had taken the car. So, what he did was he went to the police station, Vikhroli police station, and complained that, "Baba, listen, my car is lost." They registered a complaint and matter was there. Now coming back to the story. This missing car registration was already there in Vikhroli police station, and that is how the police managed to track the original owner of the car, and then from there Mr. Mansukh Hiran. Now Mansukh Hiran was taken for interrogation by the cops, and Mansukh Hiran, incidentally, on 4th of March, went missing. This was during the interrogation time. And on the 5th of March, his dead body was found in Thane Creek. Now, Thane Creek is in Kalwa actually. Kalwa is next to Thane. So, it is Thane Kalwa Creek. It's called Thane Creek. They found his body in Thane Creek. They first said that it was a suicide. Then they decided, no, it is not a suicide because it didn't look like a suicide because the man was wearing a mask. Mansukh Hiran was wearing a mask and his mouth was stuffed with cloth and most of it were dry. Why would a man who is committing suicide stuff cloth in his own mouth and then put a mask so that he doesn't get corona and then jumps into the water? ऐसा नहीं होता. So definitely it was not a suicide, and according to some reports, there were also scars and wounds in his face. So it was not a suicide. Now a lot of question arises. a lot of dots. Sachin Waze was the same person who was investigating this incident, this car bomb case in Antilia. Sachin Waze is the same person who was friends with Mansukh Hiran. Sachin Waze was the same person who took Mansukh Hiran's car and kept it with him from November 2020 to February 5th, 2021. Mansukh Hiran and Sachin Waze was the same person who then finally went and interrogated Mansukh Hiran. So Sachin Waze was playing a lot of role, and Sachin Waze was not just an investigating officer, he somehow was involved. He somehow was part of the case. I'm not saying involved, I'm sorry. I take back my words. He was part of the case because he drove that vehicle which was found there, so on and so forth. Part 1 over. Let's go to part 2. Let's now talk about Sachin Waze. Who is Sachin Waze? Sachin Waze was an officer who was on suspension. He was suspended for a custodial death of an alleged terrorist called Khwaja Yunus. Now, this was around 15 years back. Khwaja Yunus was the person who was alleged to be part of the Ghatkopar bomb blast. There was a bomb blast in Ghatkopar. Ghatkopar is very close to Vikhroli. So there was a bomb blast in Ghatkopar, and Ghatkopar bomb blast mein this person was implicated and he died in custody. 4 people were suspended in this case. The people who were suspended in this case was, one was Sachin Waze, who was assistant police inspector. Second was Constable Rajendra Tiwari. Third was Sunil Desai. Fourth was Rajaram Nikam. These were the 4 police officer and men who were suspended, and this suspension happened in 2004. In 2007, Sachin Waze, incidentally, they say, resigned from the force. He gave his resignation. Sachin Waze went and joined the Shiva Sena. He was part of the Shiva Sena after he resigned from the force. Now, incidentally, 2020, after Shiva Sena came into power and after Uddhav Thackeray took over as the chief minister, there was a special committee under Mr. Parambir Singh, the Commissioner of Police, and this review committee, which was, like I said, headed by the Mumbai Police Commissioner, Mr. Parambir Singh, approved the reinstatement of all these 4 policemen, which was Waze, Tiwari, Desai and Nikam. All these 4 people were reinstated, and in the affidavit, they said that these people were required because there were need for more hands on the deck. They needed more policemen and officers. So therefore, because of COVID and because of the COVID times and because of the emergencies, so they said that, you have this person has to come and work. So these 4 suspended policemen and officers were called back and made to join the force back. Of course, the family of Khwaja Yunus, they were very upset and they said that it was injustice and so on and so forth. Now, Sachin Waze was a very important officer after he took over. I'll tell you why. Because Sachin Waze was the same person who went to arrest Arnab Goswami. Like I said, Sachin Waze was the person who was investigating this particular case. So Sachin Waze was put on a lot of important jobs. Sachin Waze was in the crime branch, Mumbai crime branch. Mind you, Mumbai crime branch, in Mumbai police force, Mumbai crime branch is a very glamorous post. Mumbai crime branch, you have arrived, if you are part of the Mumbai crime branch. So he was part of the Mumbai crime branch and he was almost investigating all important cases. Sachin Waze, police officer first, left, joined the Shiva Sena, then again called back when the Shiva Sena was, the Shiva Sena head became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and now with Mumbai Police. yesterday, the Home Minister of Maharashtra made a statement saying that, listen, you know what, we will transfer Mr. Waze immediately, with immediate effect, and if he is found guilty, obviously we will take steps against him. So this was as far as Sachin Waze is concerned. Like I said, Jaish-ul-Hind was the people who were supposed to be responsible for this. Then the Jaish-ul-Hind said, Baba, hum log ne kuch nahi kiya. But then there was some message traced in Tihar jail and so on and so forth. So that investigation is going on in one way. That's where this case stands. I told you I'm going to give you some new additional information. The new additional information that I wanted to give you is nothing to do with this particular case, nor is it related to this case, nor it could be related to this case, but it is an information, interesting information all the same. You know, in 2009, Mr. Anil Ambani had bought a chopper, a helicopter. Now this helicopter was parked not at his residence because he didn't get the approval, but it was parked at the Juhu Flying Club. It was parked there. Now, there was an incident where pebbles were put in the gearbox of this helicopter. That is very dangerous because the gearbox, if pebbles were put, possibly the chopper could crash. So, there was a lot of rumors that possibly his business adversaries or people who are enemy or his enemies could have done this. But it was a big show. It was a big investigation. It was a big news at that point in time, 2009. Now, the person who found this pebble in the gearbox was a gentleman called Mr. Borge. He was a technician who found the pebbles in that box. You know what happened to Mr. Borge? They say Mr. Borge also committed suicide. Train knocked him down. That's the way they say he committed suicide. The railway man says it was an accident. People say it was a suicide because there was a suicide note inside his pocket when the body was recovered. His family member says, no, there is something more to this. Now, let me just read his suicide note. His suicide note at that point in time said that I haven't done anything wrong. That day, some Reliance people came and spoke to me. I didn't tell them anything. One of them took my number and said that he will talk to me later. I felt that they were using me. I am writing this letter after thinking all night. It looks like the blame will be on me. I think the investigation is on the right track and the truth will emerge soon. This is what Mr. Borge said. He said, I'm scared that the blame will be on me. But he also says that the investigation will be on the right track. Sounded a little weird. Family member, like I said that there is something wrong because he was absolutely disturbed. But even the Home Minister of those days, same party, NCP Home Minister, Mr. Jayant Patil, had made a statement saying that there is no doubt that he committed suicide. We have two witnesses in the case. Police is investigating into the case. He committed suicide because of the reasons stated in his letter. This was what Mr. Jayant Patil said 2009 in this particular case. Like I said, there is no relation between these two cases, but like I said, this is a series of coincidences, massive coincidence happening. Mansukh Hiran was first, they said it committed suicide. In fact, it was almost concluded he committed suicide. Then now after the body was recovered, and thank God the body was recovered. Otherwise, possibly nobody would have known. So, Mansukh Hiran, first suicide, now murder. Borge, suicide. One tried to harm Mukesh Ambani's building, or not tried to harm. He was in some way or another in the story, which was to harm the to harm the residence of Mukesh Ambani, and the other, again, nothing. He possibly didn't mean to harm, but in the story of harming Anil Ambani. Like I said, this has no relation, there is no correlation, there is no conspiracy theory either, but I'm just talking about coincidence. This is the story of Mansukh Hiran and the bomb scare at Antilia. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying rupees 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr Sujit Nair and from Mr Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying rupees 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.
The emerging backbone of India's economy are our startups. They represent India's youth. They represent India's aspirations. They represent India's hopes. They represent our fight against an insensitive bureaucracy, against an insensitive system. They represent the fight of our startup entrepreneurs against an indifferent system, against an insensitive banker, against challenges of dealing with the government, and against all the odds with which they started a startup. Every startup begins with a brilliant idea, a unique idea, an idea which nobody else thought of, and that becomes a business enterprise. We are starting our next episode series on what we call startup stories. It is a curiosity to know what was that idea, what was the motivation, what was the determination because of which one talented entrepreneur, without any background of business perhaps, decided to venture out on his own and create a successful enterprise. These are the ideas that motivate us also. If you have a startup story which is interesting, we would want to talk to you also. Come back to us with your own startup stories, and you might also be the person we would like to talk to.